welcome back to our weekly live here on YouTube. I am Mary from Mary's Heirloom Seeds, and I try to go live here every Thursday at 5 p.m. Central Time, which is 3 p.m. Pacific and 6 p.m. Eastern Time. So welcome, and thank you for joining me for another one of our live videos. If you're new, welcome. If you're just joining me for the very first time, in the description section of this video, you'll find a link to our website, which is marysheirloomseeds.com, and you'll find links to our comprehensive planting guide, as well as a couple of other pretty awesome links. So today I have a couple exciting announcements to make. We don't have an outside tutorial to do today because we are experiencing some crazy wind. We actually had tornado warnings yesterday, about an hour from us, closer to the Texas-Louisiana border. So I'm looking outside, and I would be completely blown away if I tried to go live. Hey Spartacus, who says strong winds where you are too. Now, fingers crossed, we will have our shop construction started very, very soon. So I'll have some updates on that going forward. That is probably the most exciting thing for 2022. We are building out Mary's Heirloom Seeds so that we can have a nice big shop so we can get a lot done. Hey, David, you made it. He says, I hear about the weather. It's about to get nasty here later tonight and tomorrow. We had some really awesome rain yesterday. So it was nice to not have to water the garden. But then today it is so windy. I'm kind of avoiding going outside because I didn't want to get blown away. So today we're going to talk about 2022. I know, it sounds a little crazy, right? We're already talking about 2022 and it's only October, but it's almost November. Now, it's posted on our website, but not everybody reads the information that we post. November 1st is when we start shipping out 2022 seeds. That's a mouthful. And then it's also when we announce our new arrivals. So if you do not get our emails, I highly recommend going to our website, which is marysheirloomseeds.com. Scroll all the way down to the bottom, enter your email address under our newsletter section, and sign up. Now, one thing you might need to do is you might need to check your spam folder. Not everybody gets our emails in their regular inbox. Some of the emails are going into your spam folder. So you can remedy that by adding our email to your contact list. And my email is mary@marysheirloomseeds.com. You can always send me an email if you have any questions. So what are we doing for 2022? We have over 35 new varieties that we will be announcing for 2022. We might actually have a couple more, so we'll see. Once we get the final tally, we will let you know. We will also have a lot of our seed varieties. Sorry, I got something in my eye. We will also have some of our out of stock varieties back in stock as well. So if there's anything in particular that you are interested in that maybe you didn't get a chance to grow this year, check out the website after November 1st, and we will be updating the entire week. We'll also send out an email on November 1st, probably not till the evening time. Give me a chance to settle in and get everything done. But then we'll have everything loaded up to our website. So first, let's share some sneak peeks that we've already shared before. These are new varieties that we added that are already on our website, that are already available for 2022. So the first one is the Lincoln Pea. The Lincoln Pea is a fantastic garden pea. So this is not a southern pea. This is something that's going to grow in the cooler weather. It is perfect for fall. It is even better for spring. So if you like garden peas and you like something that's going to have a lot of production, the Lincoln Pea is an excellent variety. The Wasabi Radish is already extremely popular on our website. Our customers are really enjoying it. By the way, if you haven't already, please hit that thumbs up button for this video. We do appreciate it. Comment below if you have any questions while I'm chatting with you. I love having you, those of you that are joining me, I love having your feedback, and I love answering your questions while I'm live. This video will most likely go out to our customers as well. So, wasabi radish is very, very hot. If you have ever eaten wasabi, it's the green paste that you typically get when you buy sushi. I love wasabi. I really do. We love spicy stuff here. So wasabi radish is actually a radish. It is not wasabi. Now let me explain what that means. Wasabi is actually, I believe, a root crop, and it is very difficult to grow. It is a specialty crop that doesn't grow in all climates. It takes a lot of effort to grow from what I understand. And it's a root, I believe, like I said. Whereas wasabi radish, you get the benefits of the hot and spicy wasabi without having the difficult growing conditions. So the wasabi radish is about a 50 to 60 days, depending on your area, depending on what you're growing, what type of garden you're growing it in. And it is a daikon style radish, daikon type radish. So it is nice and spicy. Lastly, we have the garden aprons that we already announced. Not a seed variety, but it is a new arrival here at Mary's Heirloom Seeds. Hey, Spartacus, thanks for joining us. Still joining us. Hey, Karen, you got some rain there in Florida. I was really excited we got some rain. Monique says, I have a small greenhouse, but it gets too hot in there. What can I use to keep my greenhouse from being too hot since I live in Florida? So if you have a greenhouse in Florida, I highly recommend ventilation. You need to open those doors and open those windows. A greenhouse is really good in cooler weather, but in warmer weather, it can sometimes get stifling. So you really want airflow. If you don't have power, electricity to your greenhouse, you're going to need to vent it somehow by opening windows. And that could mean putting a screen, or if you already have screens, leave those screens and open those windows. Otherwise, if you have a large greenhouse, I highly recommend fans and electricity. It gets too hot in Florida to have it completely closed up, especially during the summertime. So I mentioned wasabi, right? We have wasabi radish. We don't sell the actual wasabi, but we have a new arrival. This is a sneak peek. We have not mentioned it before. It is not available on our website yet, and that is Wasabi Arugula. So now you can have a green. You can grow it as a microgreen, or you can grow it as a salad green, and it is spicy. You get that horseradishy wasabi flavor in greens. How cool is that, right? So Wasabi Arugula is a small plant that packs a big punch. It is 20 days, actually take it back. It's about 15 to 20 days as a microgreen, and it's about 35 to 40 days as a green. So if you want to chop up a little piece and throw it in your salad, you want to add it to a recipe, you'll get that nice spicy kick without having any root crops to have to grow or anything kind of difficult to grow, right? So Wasabi Arugula will be available November 1st. So all of these things I'm going to mention here, this is just a sneak peek. I'm only going to share with you a couple of varieties. You'll have to wait till November 1st to see it. We will post a massive announcement on our website, which is marysheirloomseeds.com, and that'll be under Mary's blog. And then we'll also send out an email in the evening time so that you can have it all in one place. Joseph Poole, did you ever get my big dang beans to do anything? So, Joseph, I will be growing your beans again this year. So for those of you who didn't know, we had these big dang beans and they were gigantic, and I grew them in Ramona, and I still have a couple left, but it froze as soon as I planted them outside. So I was a little too quick to plant them outside. And then we moved to Ramona, we moved from Ramona to Ben Wheeler, Texas. We've been in Ben Wheeler, Texas for 4 months now, maybe 5. But unfortunately, Joseph, I hadn't unpacked your beans when I got my garden started. And now we have fencing going up in the garden. So I will have a perfect place just for your beans. I wish I had them with me, but I don't. But they did really well when they were growing until they froze. And that was the ones that didn't get eaten by the cat. Anybody else have cats that like to eat your seedlings while you're growing them? I have one, and he loves eating anything from the garden. He actually eats lettuce. He's crazy. He actually cries for lettuce when I'm making salad from the garden. So anyway, what else do we have to announce for 2022? Remember, this is just a sneak peek. This isn't all the varieties we're going to share with you on November 1st. This is just a little teaser for you. We have pink plume celery. Anybody else love celery? Anyone else love kind of delicate celery? This is kind of a fancier variety, but it is a fairly rare heirloom variety. It is a dwarf growing habitat, so it's only going to grow about 12 inches. Instead of your typical giant celery, it's going to be shorter and smaller. But it also, instead of growing one massive stalk, it's going to grow more smaller, delicate stalks out of one. So in my opinion, it kind of looks more like a Swiss chard, the stems. So it isn't a tight, compact celery. It's nice and wide, but it's very small and delicate. And this has been growing in home gardens since the 1890s. So this is definitely not a new heirloom variety, but it is something that you won't necessarily see everywhere. It's definitely not something you're going to see in the grocery store when you stop in and pick some things up. It's something that you're definitely going to want to grow in your garden. So we've got some flowers we're going to be adding for 2022 as well. We have Maximilian Sunflowers. Now let me tell you about this because I'm really excited about adding Maximilian Sunflowers. I love sunflowers. I love everything sunflowers, and they're bright and they're cheery, and they really add a lot of color to your garden. But the Maximilian Sunflower is a really important one. This one grows to a height of 3 feet to 10 feet. That's a big difference. But 10 feet grows wild around here, no problem. And I'm really excited. This is a native variety. So it's definitely one that for those of us that live in where it is native, that is, it's a wild sunflower. It's awesome. The Maximilian Sunflower grows, I want to say it looks a lot like a sunchoke. So you've got these big stems and kind of looks bushy, and you've got sunflowers going all over the place. This isn't your typical big round sunflower. These are the smaller ones that grow multiple on a single stem. The Maximilian Sunflower is really important because it is excellent for livestock. So if you've got livestock and you want to feed them kind of inexpensive, Maximilian Sunflowers are an excellent choice. A little background on the Maximilian Sunflower. The Maximilian Sunflower was named after a naturalist, Prince Maximilian from Germany, when he led an expedition in the American West in the 1830s. So this variety grows wild here in the U.S. It is specifically a native prairie perennial. So this is one that you can grow it, you can plant it, and just continue to grow it. It's not necessarily one that you're going to have to plant year after year after year. It also self-seeds. So if you let those seeds go crazy in your garden, it is an excellent addition to your garden. So now this one next on my list is one that a lot of customers have been asking. We are going to be adding more combo packs this year, specific for regions. So one of the things, we already have Florida seed combo packs because of course we were in Florida for a couple years. We're going to be adding a couple Texas specific combo packs. And really, you could grow these in other places besides Texas, anywhere where it gets nice and hot. You could grow them in California. You could grow them in Arizona. You can grow them in Texas. You could grow them in Georgia. So these are going to be some of the southern varieties that do really well in the heat. But the other option I'm going to add is crops that are ready to harvest in shorter seasons. So for those of you who live in cooler climates where you don't have this long growing season, you've got to get in, get your garden growing and harvest it because you only have a short growing season. So one of the varieties we've added is called the Manitoba Tomato. We're going to have a bunch of new tomatoes for 2022, so stay tuned for more. Now, the Manitoba tomato is a determinate tomato, so it's considered a bush tomato. It is ready to harvest in as few as 65 days. Now, usually this is 65 days from transplant. So you're going to add about 2 to 4 weeks for full maturity. But that is a very short maturing variety. It comes from Canada, so hence the name Manitoba, Canada. It is grown in the United States. Our seed stock is, but the original seed stock came from Manitoba, Canada. So this is especially good for gardeners with shorter growing seasons. And if you live in cooler climates, this will tolerate a little bit of cooler climates, not cold, not frost, mind you, but it will handle a little better when you have a shorter growing season. Now, we have another one that will be back in stock. Now, I did mention a lot of our varieties will be back in stock if they're marked out of stock right now. And that one is going to be the Pigeon Pea. That is probably one of the #1 requested seed varieties that we get back in stock. The Pigeon Pea is an awesome southern pea. I can't tell you how many requests I've had for it. It is a short-lived perennial that can grow 6 to 12 feet tall, and it grows for about 5 years. You can grow it like a bush, or you can grow it like a massive tree. Now, the only way that it's going to really continue to grow for those 5 years is if you live in a warmer climate, like a subtropical climate like Florida. It's a very, very important crop for Florida. It grows like a tree, like I said, so you can continue to harvest it. Or if you live in a cooler climate, or at least in an area like Texas where we do get cold, our frost date, our first frost date is the middle of November. So it probably will not survive a cold period of 4 months. So in that case, you're going to want to grow it in a greenhouse, or you're going to want to keep it inside. Not everybody wants to bring this giant plant inside, but even if you live in a cooler climate, you can always try to grow it as an annual and not a perennial. So let's see what else. We have a couple other varieties that will be back in stock. The Trinidad scorpion pepper is another one that is high on the list of requests. So the Trinidad scorpion pepper will be back in stock for 2022. I just harvested a bunch of peppers the other day. Those pods are beautiful. I'm going to add them to some vinegar. I saved the seeds. Then I'm going to add the actual flesh of the Trinidad scorpion pepper into some vinegar so I can make some hot sauce. Let's see. That is it for the specifics. I will, like I mentioned, I'm going to be adding a bunch of different heirloom tomatoes, probably, I want to say 10 or more. We've got some Japanese heirloom peppers that are very, very rare that we will have as well. And a couple, you'll just have to wait till November 1st to see the big reveal. We've had a year of big reveals, right? In June, we had our big reveal that we were moving to a new homestead, to a new property, which is amazing so far. We had our garden up and running within about less than 2 weeks from when we landed. And we've been harvesting after 30 days. So it has definitely been an exciting adventure here in East Texas. So that is it for my live chat tonight. As I mentioned, if you have any questions, you can always send an email to mary@marysheirloomseeds.com. In the description section of this video, you will find links to our comprehensive planting guide to Mary's Heirloom Seeds and a couple cool articles and videos if you want to check those out. If you want to be added to my email list, but you're not sure how to go about doing that, you can always send an email, mary@marysheirloomseeds.com. Say, hey, Mary, add me to your email list, and I'll go ahead and get you started. Hey, Matt, thanks for joining us. We are almost done. Joseph said, I didn't get to plant this year. I planted the red noodle beans. Very cool. Well, like I said, Joseph, I still have those beans. I'm saving those beans because I knew that we only really had a few months to get everything going, and those need some time and some care. So we'll be putting in, they are a red sword bean, which is a broad bean. So I will definitely have more sword beans. That reminds me, I will definitely have a new variety of sword bean as well, that we found some really beautiful crops for 2022. So I hope you enjoyed our video. I hope you enjoy our 2022 announcement. Today was just a sneak peek. We have a lot of amazing and unique varieties to share with you November 1st, 2022. I'm Mary signing off. I hope you enjoyed, and happy planting.